Good morning, and thank you for flying Air International flight number 103.1 FM, where you're sure to fly first class every time. And today I have three women with me who are taking a stand for peace. And I'd like to dedicate this show to the three people that were killed in Chapel Hill over a parking space. That would be Dia, Barakat, Razan, and Yusur Abu Salah. So I'd like to ask the question, what was the motivating factor for each of you, and I'll start out with Aya, for coming here today?
I'm Aya, and I'm also here representing the Muslim community. And my motivating factor was, after the Chapel Hill shooting, I realized that there is a necessity for conversations about peace, and that between different faiths, whether it was a parking spot, whether it was because she was Muslim, whether it doesn't matter what it is, there's obviously some kind of conversation that needs to be had between different faiths so that we have mutual understanding.
Hi, I'm Valerie, and I'm from the Atheist, Agnostics, and Skeptics community here on campus. And for me, it was really, there's so many stereotypes that are involved with each faith, and especially with the atheist community. It's basically, old white men who are very kind of anti-religion, and they're very mean and aggressive, and I don't think that's the way that most atheists are. Most atheists appreciate religion and what it does, and they want to work with them to have a better community instead of it being so segregated.
My name is Lena, and I'm representing the Muslim community as well, and I guess what brought me here is the importance of building bridges between different faiths and having open conversation.
And I'm here. My name is April, and I was raised as a Christian and converted to spiritual science. I guess you could call it a religion or a way of being that accepts a fine line that connects all religion, which I believe is wisdom, hope, peace, love, charity, knowledge, and there's a lot of other things, but those are the main ones. So I'd like to know, how do you see yourself manifesting peace on earth, Valerie?
Well, one of the main things that we do with our group is that we call our group a safe space. So there's a lot of people who are atheists, and they're open about the fact that they're atheists. They get a lot of backlash because of it from different religious organizations and have been persecuted. So our group is a place where they can come and talk about it, and they can talk about what has happened to them and be accepted no matter what their beliefs are. And we have people who come to our group who are Christian, who are Jewish, and different religions that just want to express their ideas and beliefs in a safe and open place. And I also help run a summer camp that is specifically for secular kids. So it's all across the United States. It's called Camp Quest, and they specifically are talking about like critical thinking differently about things, but it's also a place for them to talk about what they believe and for them to figure out kind of what is going on in the world and how other people see things, and to accept that and to be humanist and cherish other people for their ideas.
Okay, and Leah, you were telling me that you're studying peace and conflict studies. Can you tell me what your hopes are once you leave UNCG with those studies?
Well, it's peace and conflict studies and social work. But yeah, I hope to, when I graduate, to be able to be competent of like most faiths, and bring people together and have open conversation. I think that's really important, especially within the major. If you're helping people, you need to know and you need to be accepting.
Aya, I was wondering, and this question is for all of you to think about, do you receive any backlash from any other religious organizations or affiliations for wanting to unite with different faith-based organizations?
I'm president of the Muslim Student Association on campus, and I feel like other organizations usually actually really want to work with us, whether it's interfaith or just like different communities coming together. We did a World Hijab Day with the Latin sorority Chi Upsilon Sigma on campus, so that was really interesting, and it was their idea, it wasn't our idea, so they came out. But I feel like a lot of times within our own community there are some issues. Like we want to do an event with Halal, which is the Jewish group on campus, and we do a prayer and they celebrate their Shabbat, and we just learn about each other. And I feel like within our own communities we get backlash because of political problems that are going on around the world.
For me, there's some backlash depending on there's a little bit with inside the group of people kind of who identify as like a militant atheist, where they don't agree with any religion. They kind of push the fact that they don't agree with any religion on other people, and that's not what we want to do. We don't want to say what is one thing or another, because we all have different ideas and different beliefs.
And is this through your organization with UNCG is acceptance?
Yes, we are promoting acceptance through UNCG, and there's we get some backlash from other organizations or other people, because we have a booth out every single Wednesday, just to say we are here on campus, because there are like over 12 different religious organizations on campus, and we were the only non-religious organization. And so like we were talking to this guy who like wants to be a minister, and we were having this massive deep conversation about like what his beliefs are and what our beliefs, and how you kind of form your beliefs and how they're different. And his girlfriend wouldn't even look at us. People would hold up signs at us saying we were praying for you, and just different, or like throwing notes down saying that we're part of the devil and different things like that. So it's just, but we try to get past it and try to be like, we're just people.
So when you were having that conversation with the man who was going to school to become a minister, did you find that a lot of the things that you wanted to do were the same? Did you find any kind of connection where, for instance, we're standing for peace? Did you make any connections with him in regards to manifesting peace on earth?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking a lot about kind of understanding people's different backgrounds, and understanding that nobody comes to the table with the exact same experiences and the exact same knowledge of different things. So being willing to understand people and to accept them for who they are, instead of having prejudice or judgment, is what mainly we talked about with him.
Okay, I know this sounds like a redundant question, but I'd like to know, what do you believe is the benefit of working together when taking a stand for peace?
I think when people work together, you have an understanding of everybody's faith.
I believe that there's a fine line that connects all people, not just religious groups, but there's a fine line that connects all people, and it's through our humanity and through our compassion and through our understanding of people just as a human being, I believe, is how we're going to manifest peace on earth. As we conclude our interview today, is there anything that any of you would like to say to our listeners before we finish our interview?
I think the big thing is everybody automatically has these stereotypes about different religions and who those people are, and you have to get past that. You have to get to know the actual individual people and understand them to get past these very negative stereotypes. And that's my main goal in doing this and trying to spread peace.
I guess the importance of having conversations and talking to people. There's no problem with asking questions.
I think trying not to see stereotypes, to just, if you see somebody, just smile, say hello. And I think a lot of times, being a Muslim woman that covers, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't say anything to her, that you can't approach me. But in actuality, I mean, you can't see my face right now, you can only hear my voice. But if you were ever to see somebody, a smile goes a long way. It can make somebody's day. It's a very positive thing. Sometimes I smile at people and they just look at me like I'm crazy. And when I smile, I actually feel better. So, about all this talk about me, like peace and how we can try to help one another, just smiling at anybody once a day is a good thing.
Ladies, I would like to thank you for coming in today and having a discussion about breaking down barriers within our community. Well, you've been listening to Air International, flight number 103.1 FM, where you're sure to fly first class every time you fly. I'm your pilot, April Snell, and keep listening for more news, sports, and music.